I get it when you're standing in the middle of your living room, sneakers off, yoga mat unrolled, and you're trying to decide whether to shell out for a full dumbbell rack. That little voice in the back of your head starts listing all the what-ifs. What if it takes up too much space? What if the weights feel cheap and wobble every time you do a shoulder press? What if you end up paying for a set you'll barely use because you never get past the first few reps? Those doubts are real, especially when you're looking at a price tag that's not exactly pocket change. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's walk through the GOIMU Dumbbell set with rack, see who actually gets value out of it, and point out the spots where you might want to keep looking elsewhere. First off, the biggest thing people worry about with a home dumbbell collection is space. The GOIMU set comes with a 3-tier rack that's meant to keep the whole range from 5-pound plates all the way up to 110-pound pairs neatly organized. In practice, the rack is about the size of a small coffee table, so if you have a dedicated workout corner or a garage corner, it fits without turning the room into a storage unit. If you're living in a studio apartment and your only free floor space is a yoga mat, you'll probably need to think twice. The rack does have rubber feet that stop it from sliding, but the whole thing still leans a bit when you load the top tier with the heaviest plates. I've seen that happen in a friend's basement gym. The rack stays stable during bicep curls but starts to wobble when he does a clean and press with the 110-pound pair. So the set works best when you can place it on a solid, level surface and have at least a foot or two of clearance around it. Now, about the dumbbells themselves. They're built around a solid cast iron core with a rubber coating that's meant to protect floors and reduce noise. In my own testing, the rubber layer holds up well after a month of daily use. No cracks, no chipping, and the weight doesn't shift inside the metal core. That's a practical win for anyone who does a lot of high-repetition work, like 15-minute hit circuits that toss a lot of dumbbells around. The chrome handles give you a decent grip even when your palms get sweaty, and because the handles are the same diameter across all weight increments, you don't have to adjust your grip when you move from a 25-pound curl to a 45-pound one. The downside is that the handles are a bit wider than you'd find on premium competition bars, which can feel cramped for people with smaller hands, especially during overhead presses. If you're a lifter who focuses on heavy bench presses and wants a tight, knurl-free handle, you might find the grip a little bulky. One of the biggest reasons people reach for a dumbbell rack instead of a single adjustable set is the ability to switch weights quickly. The GOIMU set lets you grab the exact pair you need and go, which is perfect for superset workouts where you bounce from triceps extensions to lateral raises without pausing to readjust. I tried a 30-minute full-body circuit that included goblet squats at 35 pounds, single arm rows at 20 pounds, and lunges at 15 pounds. Because each pair was already on its own peg, the transition time was almost zero. In a home setting, that efficiency can make the difference between a 30-minute session and a 45-minute one, especially if you're juggling a job and family. On the flip side, the complete set claim means you're buying a lot of weight you might never use. If you're just starting out with bodyweight exercises and only plan to add a few pounds of resistance for a few months, you'll be paying for 110 pounds of iron you'll never lift. The set's price reflects the total weight capacity, not the incremental steps you'll actually need. For someone who's only interested in light conditioning, say, a senior looking to maintain muscle tone with 5 to 20-pound dumbbells, the rack feels overkill, and the space it occupies could be better used for a set of adjustable kettlebells. Another practical consideration is how the set handles durability over time. The cast iron cores are solid, and the rubber coating does a decent job of absorbing impact, so you won't hear the clatter you'd get with bare metal plates on a wooden floor. However, because each dumbbell is a separate piece, you have to keep an eye on the individual handles for any loosening of the chrome plating. After a few months of heavy use, the chrome on a couple of the larger pairs started to look a little dull around the edges. Nothing that affects performance, but it's a cosmetic sign that the finish will wear. If you're the type who loves a pristine look, that could be a minor disappointment. Who should actually buy this? If you're a dedicated home gym enthusiast who